Those of you that I haven't met before, I'm really looking forward to the session, meeting you, listening to your stories, and looking at how we can, as a collective wisdom today, maybe create something that hasn't even been thought about before. So just to give you, before I do check-ins with everybody, and I want to hear something about all of you, and I'm going to share my screen in a moment, I just wanted to introduce myself. Tracey's done a very good job already, so I'm not going to spend too much time. But I have been working in the realm of leadership and personal development, and I don't really separate them because they go very much together. Your leadership and your scope of leadership and your capacity is actually based on you and who you are. So actually personal leadership and personal development comes first. And I've been doing this probably for about 20 years now. I say that every year, so it could be a bit longer. And in an organization called Young Presidents Organization. So I've worked at different levels, younger leaders, older leaders. And I've actually had the privilege of traveling all over the world and meeting with these leaders, running retreats and sessions. And over and above me going and doing this work, I've had so much learning from my peers. I'm really so grateful. And I'll call you people peers as well, because in all the sessions that I've run, I always take a learning from it. And I use that in my next session. So that's what I meant when I said, let's see if we can create something together. There's always a co-creative energy in the room when there's a group of leaders. And it doesn't matter if you've only been in leadership for one day or for 30 years, you have a life of leadership. You have a life of being in this world, and you have life experiences that very much tap into how you will lead. So what I want to do today is I really want to tap into that with everybody. We've been in an unknown space now for a year with Corona that hit us last year. We've traveled in the roller coaster. I'd love to hear from all of you. How are you coming through the other side? And what is the opportunity perhaps that you've had from this roller coaster? But before that, and maybe for some of you, it might not have been. It might have been the greatest blessing ever. So I'm going to share my screen, and because I'd like to just do a check-in, which is actually, by the way, as I am talking and running the session, take everything from me, because if you have people that work with you, partners, people that are employed by you, it's always a good idea to check in every time you have a meeting with them. Before you get into the agenda, the first thing is, how are you? Make that, start to build that relationship in, I really do care about you today, and how are you? So here is the, I'm just going to share my screen if I can share. Can everyone see this, my container setting?
Yes, perfect, Jane. You can put it into slide share mode at the bottom.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, see, that's there. No, that's not it.
The other one, the upside down TV, I always say. There you go.
Okay.
Perfect.
Excellent. So what I want to do is just start off with this container. And the container is what we're building here today so that we can speak freely and we can listen deeply to ourselves and everybody else. Confidentiality is an absolute. So everything that is said here today is kept very confidential. You're going to go into breakout rooms with people. You'll hear their stories. So really, confidentiality is most important. Switch off your phones at any disruptions or distractions around you, giving you the opportunity to really be present and listen deeply. And one thing that I haven't actually added in here, but I really want you to also suspend any judgments. And when I talk about judgment, I mean judgment of yourself and of others. So those are the rules today. So what I want you to do now is just say your name, company, what is your business, your role, and just with a simple question, what to you is great leadership? What does it mean for you? And why are you here? So it's almost like, how are you making meaning of this word, great leadership? And I want to know why. What are your expectations for this session? And you've got about 66 seconds each to check in. So, and we're going to have a lot of time to speak even more. So what I'd like to do is I'm going to go down my screen, and if I miss anyone, but I'll just take your name so I know that I haven't missed anyone. And I see right under my screen is Cheryl. I'm going to stop sharing, and I have put the questions here in the chat box for everybody. So your name, the company, CEO, whatever, and then what is great leadership? What does it mean to you, and why are you here? Cheryl, you're up first. Take yourself off mute. You're on mute. So when you talk, I'll take thank you.
Hi, Janet. Thanks very much for hosting this webinar. It's great to be with you. I also know you for a long, long time. For everybody else, my name is Cheryl Klein. I am a personal coach. I didn't start out that way. It's a new venture for me. The meaning of great leadership always conjures up presidents and, very influential people. But now I realize that that's not actually the case. Great can be just great within yourself and how you can improve your own self. And yeah, the reason why I'm here is I really admire Janet, and I think she's got some amazing principles, and I'd really like to learn a lot and take my career to the next level. Thanks very much.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Next on my screen, just underneath, is that Odette. And can you just put on your cameras just while you're checking in?
Yes.
Thanks, Odette.
Yes, hello, good morning. My name is Odette. I was working at Millcliff and Livedick in an admin capacity plus. What I think is great leadership is to get the person who is responsible to take responsibility and to take ownership of the company, which means it sounds very, very simplistic, but it's not. You have to, as an owner and as a leader, care about people, and especially about customers, and especially about staff. And if that is all missing and there is that absenteeism, a lot of chaos follows. And that person who's in leadership should possibly be in leadership in another way, but not in a business, because all businesses, from what I can see, and I've made comparisons from small to big, need that kind of empathy, need that kind of care, that loving care that comes with interacting with customers, be they good, bad, or ugly. It's fundamental, but the plot gets lost. People get lost, and when that goes missing, there is really a gap that needs to be filled by others. And the reward system isn't always great. So it's very important, if possible, to go with good people that want to do that in business, whether it be a coffee shop or anything larger. It is so basic, but it's not a given. So that's why, yeah.
Thanks, Odette. Thank you very much. Yeah. Good to meet you. Sean.
Thank you.
Sean Silverman. You can just take yourself off mute as well, Sean. Thank you.
Yeah, there we go. And there's my camera. Yeah, it might freeze, but we'll take the chance. So I'm with a company called ORT Solutions, and I'm one of the founders, and I've taken on the role of sales director because that's been my career path throughout my life. And yeah, I think a great leader is someone who can, coach people to be the best they can be, to make the world work better.
Brilliant. Thank you. To meet you. Thanks. Sybil, is it Sybil or Sybil?
Sybil is great.
Welcome.
Yes, it's confusing. Sybil is my first name, Sharon the surname. So I am also a coach, a consciousness coach. And what to me a great leader is a role model and someone that's walking the talk. And a great leader also needs to, for me, empower others to become part of the solution. Like not micromanage the whole time, but to trust and hand over responsibility and encourage others to be part of the solution. Why am I here? To actually grow my business and to get some guidance, something how to take my thinking environment, time to think, all of that into commercial business.
Wonderful. Exciting. Thank you. Valeria.
Hi everyone. My name is Valeria Mahlangu. I run two businesses. One is cakes. I do cakes. I'm a home-based business. And the other one is life coach as well. So we've got 3 life coaches as I'm counting. 3 life coaches here. So I own both the businesses, which at this point in time, especially with the pandemic, they sort of support each other. When it was, we were hard hit by COVID last year, cakes were like the least of the priorities for a lot of people. So I jumped on to coaching, so they are always like this, I'm always juggling between the two. And for some reason, it's working for me because when the other one is low, the other one goes high. When the other one goes high, so it's working for me. What I think a great leadership is authenticity, being true to yourself, and then also being true to others as well, and deliver what you said you were going to deliver to whoever you promised. And then why I'm here because I want to gain insight and knowledge to people like Janet, who already have the leadership knowledge and skills, and also to experience and to others, who are here already to find out what they are doing and to gain some, new knowledge from their experiences in the, world of business and leadership as well.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Wow. Michelle Blumenau.
Hi, everybody. So I have a business called Turquoise PR, and we publicists. We help people get in the media. And what I think, maybe then just let's go on to why I'm here, is I'm wanting to grow my business. I'm wanting to do things differently. I set my business up in a way sort of to avoid people and just have consultants. And now I'm thinking of taking people on more permanently, which means I've got to deal with people again. So yeah, just looking for some tips on that. The other thing is, you asked what I think of great leadership is. I read a book on the Rebbe by Joseph Telushkin. And to me, it was a book about one of the greatest leaders the world's ever seen. Because this is a man who is, the Rebbe led Chabad, and he died, and yet he managed to get people in Chabad to continue with his vision, even though he's dead, and to take it to every corner of the world. I mean, to inspire people in that way. So I suppose I'm saying leadership has to be related to inspiration and linking it to things that people feel strongly about and inculcating that in them, that they can take your vision and implement it even years after you're dead. I mean, that has to be one of the greatest leaders the world's ever seen.
What a beautiful, you could run this series for me, because that is, you don't need to be happy, because that is so true. And I want us to think about this throughout the session. How are you inspired? And what inspires you is how you are going to inspire others. Inspiration comes through you and your purpose. That's why this man managed to do that, is because he was so authentic in it. It was actually part of his makeup. It was part of who he was. His belief in it was so strong, a belief in himself you know, so he had very, very high self-worth, confidence, courage, all of those aspects in him. He was completely driven. And, but most of all, he made meaning. There was meaning in what he was doing. So this is why I want us, we're going to watch a video just now, and then we're going to talk about it. So thank you for that, Michelle. Thank you. Hillel. You take yourself off mute, and if we can see you, Hillel. You're on mute. No, maybe he's not there. Let's skip because I don't want to waste time, and we'll come back to Hillel. Helen.
Hi, I'm back. Hi.
Are you back? Okay, great.
Yes.
Thank you. Can we see, can you put your video on?
Video here. Can you see me?
Thank you.
Okay. All right. So my name's Hillel Bowman. I've basically been running an SMS company. We do large-scale SMSs for companies since about 2004. So it's quite a while. And the challenge we have is how to grow. We're really seriously affected by the pandemic last year. A lot of courier companies use us and those types of companies, and they're all shut down. And then we got an opportunity to offer WhatsApp to companies. And we got an amazing opportunity to offer WhatsApp at around, it's called a WhatsApp template message. Just hold on, I'm actually at home. For a really relatively, for a price of approximately an SMS. Normally a WhatsApp template message will cost you over 40 cents. And we would offer to get it around 20 cents or under. And the challenge for us is that obviously to get it, we need high volumes. And we have to reposition ourselves in the market and figure out what's the right approach. How do we approach banks, retailers, government? How do we access these people, and how do we offer it to them at a price that is, that works for them? And at the same time, how do we get WhatsApp to work with South Africa? WhatsApp came out in February with this crazy statement that if you don't take our new WhatsApp app, we're going to, kick you off the network. And a lot of South Africans started to view them with a lot of suspicion. So we kind of have the ear of, in a strange way, we have the ear of WhatsApp. All right, we can tell them, listen, South Africans won't use you if you work in a certain way. And it's all bizarre the way the whole thing worked out. It's really God's help. I have no control out of that. But the only control I do have is how to position ourselves in the market now, and how to advertise, how to market. Do we go and put ourselves, use Google keywords? Maybe it's not such a good idea. Maybe it is. We know there's about 20 companies in South Africa that can really send high volume, and we need high volumes. So it's a challenge. I'm really at a point now where my business skills are being stretched and I need help on how to move forward. That's really it.
Okay, and then that's ORT. That's why we're at ORT as well. What I wanted, and what is your take on the meaning of leadership?
I don't know, leadership, I think leadership would be, I think Nelson Mandela would be an ideal example, because the country at that point in time, part of the country wanted blood and they wanted war. And he saw that if you go for that, you'll never get out of this. It'll be a continual war. And he could see past that. He could see the big picture. And I think people like Rabbi Tanza, I don't know if anyone knew Rabbi Tanza. I never had the privilege to meet Nelson Mandela. I mean, I met him in passing, but I would assume that kind of big picture person who can see someone, understand their environment, understand their situation, and understand how to work with a big picture, and not just what you're saying to me now, but like, where are you going? Where's the company going? And how do, that's, I think it's almost like a visionary. And I think certain of those skills can be learned. Some are natural. You either have them or you don't. And some you need to learn. And I want to learn whatever I can, because I need a kind of a bit of a visionary way of looking at things at the moment, and it's not natural.
Okay. Well, I've got news for you. It's completely natural. Right. We will come on to that. It's a very good question as well. I like that question. Brilliant. Okay, Helen.
Hi everyone, I'm Helen. I'm a marketing strategist. I run my own consultancy, and I work with both the brand owners and with agencies to help them understand who are they trying to reach? What message are they trying to send? How are they different to their competitors? So really the beginning of the journey of what are you offering? And for me, great leadership is two things. The one is obviously for leading, whether it's your organization or your movement or the people who are working with you, to give clarity and purpose so that everybody knows everybody's marching in the same direction. But also it's to empower people. It's to make each person be the best version of themselves. So leading from within yourself, not just that the leader's dragging you along, but that you are performing at your best. So it's about empowering people and being brave enough to let people teach you how to lead them, a lot like parenting. So why am I here? I'm always excited to learn from people who have had great achievements. What can I learn and how can it inspire me to be a better version of me? And especially now with running my own consultancy, most of my career I worked in the big corporates, and now it's largely me alone. So I look for opportunities for inspiration and to continue to learn and grow, not just to be fueling it on myself, but also, and I think for all of us working with clients, you're trying to lead them, you're trying to encourage them to participate or to buy or to be part of whatever you're offering. And how do you do it in a way where they've got the choice to walk away? So as a formal leader or as a parent in an organization, you can force people, but that's generally not going to get the best following. So for me as a leader, it's to inspire people and to be able to offer them what they want so that you can give them the best of what you have.
Thank you so much. Wow. Thank you. Filani, is it Tipelas? Filani. You'll have to tell us how to pronounce your name. Can you take yourself off mute? You're on mute.
Yes, it's Pilani Tiflas. Yes, I own two companies for mechanical and chemical engineering. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yes, Pilani, I own two companies. So being a great leadership is like you must always be specific towards people and towards your employees. So you must make a line that all your guys must be feel free. So again, you need to tell people how true you are, and then you must always be true when you're talking something. So, but being a leadership is great. It depends how you live with people and how you stay with other people. So that's it. Thank you.
Wow, thank you very much. Just remind you, because I realize that some of you might be sharing an office and it might be distracting. So I don't know if you want to just make sure your doors are closed or
yeah.
For the hour, give yourself that opportunity. Otherwise, it might be difficult for you to engage, because we're going to go into some breakout rooms with one another as well and really need to focus.
Yeah,
so
thank you.
Thanks everybody for your check-in. I'm going to I'm going to share my screen, and I want to play this video. I'm sure you've all heard, if not, it'd be great to introduce you to him, to Simon Sinek, who talks a lot about purpose and the why. And I really want to focus on that. Listening into your questions, I think it's actually a brilliant question today. So I'm hoping that you'll be able to hear me.
The why was born out of pain. It was never an academic or commercial exercise. It was born out of a time in my life many years ago, 10 years ago, where I had lost my passion for what I was doing. I owned my own small business. I was living the American dream. Superficially, my life was fantastic. And yet I didn't want to wake up and do it again. And I was embarrassed by that. Who am I to complain about my life? My life seemed perfect, and yet I hated it. And so I kept it to myself. Every ounce of my being, all the energy that I had was invested in pretending that I was happier, more successful, and more in control than I felt. And it was debilitating, quite frankly. Strange things start to happen when you put yourself in that cycle and the stress starts to build. You start to become paranoid. So for example, I was convinced that my employees hated me. I didn't go out much, and it was really a bad time. And it wasn't until a friend of mine came to me concerned that I wasn't acting myself and basically offered me nothing more than moral support. Whatever you need, I got your back, I'm worried about you. And it was that simple act that gave me the courage to face my own problem. And it was that simple act that gave me the courage to seek out a solution, to go back to the way I used to feel, to be passionate about something again. There was a confluence of events, and I made this discovery that every single organization on the planet, even our own careers, always function on the same three levels: what we do, how we do it, and why we do it. And it was based on the biology of human decision-making. It wasn't some highfalutin management theory. It was based on brain stuff. And I realized I knew what I did and was good at it. And I knew how I did it. I could tell you what was different or special about the way I did things, but I couldn't tell you why I was doing it. That was the missing piece. You have to have all three. I became obsessed with this thing called the why. I figured out how to find my why, and it restored my passion to levels I had never experienced before. And more importantly, I figured out how to help others find theirs. And I did what anyone would do. When you discover something beautiful, you share it with your friends. And my friends started making crazy life changes themselves. And they started finding happiness and passion that they'd never experienced before. It was me solving my own problem that happened to help others solve it for them too. And people just kept inviting me, and I just kept saying yes. I was making huge decisions that were really easy to make. Like I shut down my office and started over again because I realized the business I had built was so inconsistent with my why. All my friends thought I went out of business and they were worried about me. It was the easiest decision I ever made. In other words, when you know your why, the filter is clear. It's not like there are options. The option is obvious. There's only one option: share, give, inspire. And everything that I've achieved, any success that I've enjoyed, has all been 100% because of the gracious, just amazing generosity of people around me. My friends, my colleagues, people who just believe what I believe. They're the ones who either introduced me to others or took a risk or said, let me try that, or bought a book or watched a TED Talk, or more importantly, sent it to somebody else because they thought they would be inspired by it. For all of the things that I've done over the past decade, I still feel like I'm at the beginning. I've been saying it for 10 years. When everybody says to me, you know, congratulations on X, Y, or Z, my answer is always the same: tip of the iceberg. And I think that's what keeps me inspired, which is, for me, it's a journey. I'm on the right path. I'm walking past the right mile markers. In other words, I know I'm making progress to the vision that I have to build this world in which the vast majority of people wake up every single morning inspired to go to work, feel safe when they're there, returning home at the end of the day fulfilled by the work that they do. When I started the race, I ran by myself, and it's lonely, lonely, lonely. And now I got like 1,000 people to the left and 1,000 people to the right and 1,000 people behind me. And I look around, I'm like, yep, we're going to change the world. We're going to change the world.
So he said nothing about strategy, how to run a business is the most important thing. No, what he was talking about is you and him as the human behind that business and how it came to him. And what he's really saying is that it is his why that changed his life. How do we make meaning of who we are in this place? And how do we understand what is our uniqueness that we bring to the world? What are our gifts? So if we want to approach people to get business, how do you really get it? And I'd love to also hear from the marketing people in the room and for coaches. I mean, this is a very good question. You are the business. And whether you're leading 1 million people or one person, you make the only difference. You are the difference. And Nelson Mandela learned from this woman, what was her name? Marion, I think it was Williamson. Our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It's our light, not our darkness, that most frightens us. So I am interested today in tapping into that. What is the gift? What is my gift as a leader of this business? How do I become inspired? And then how do I take that, embody it in myself, and inspire others? It doesn't matter what type of business you're in, you are the business. So even if you want to make deals with big banks, the big bank is only going to listen to somebody who they feel is authentic and who is inspirational and has got a real connection to what they're doing, so that their purpose is actually flowing through them. That's how people, ask anyone who is successful in business or look at them closely. Look at the CEO of the companies, and that's what we see. The other part is easy. It's the same as a child going to school to learn. If they're emotionally intact, they love themselves, they learn easy. The curriculum's not the difficult part. It's how are we standing in our purpose? How are we standing in that place of commitment to oneself? How much do I actually love and honor myself? Not the people I am selling to. Myself first. And that's what people move towards. They move towards people who love themselves, who admire themselves, who honor who they are, honor their lives, who see their own greatness. So I'm interested in understanding how you bring your greatness to life. So what I would love to have just for 5 minutes before we go into our next part of this, of the learning today, is what happens when you hear that, when you listen to that video, when you suddenly have this quote here about, wow, maybe it's my light that I'm more afraid of, not the darkness. I'm more afraid of my light than darkness. And what is it that comes through you? What are your thoughts about that? So I'm not going to ask you actually to do it in this plenary. I'm going to ask, I don't know why I haven't been made the host, to be made host, so that we can start setting up breakout rooms. So let me just ask her to make me host.
I'm going to make you host now, Janet.
Thank you very much. And I want you to think about that. It's a conversation that you're going to have with your partner. I'm just waiting for her to make me host. Is there any questions in the meantime?
Just what are we sharing with our partner?
Yeah, I'm going to tell you that now, but I just want to first find out any questions or any comments about the video.
I suppose the obvious question is how to find your why. I mean, where do you do it, or how do you get to it?
Yeah.
I mean, you might have some insights, but to really get it out of you, how do you do that?
There actually are ways that I've been doing for the last 10 years, and I'll help you through that. Not in one day, it takes you know, a while. But I want how you start to do it is to this question. I'm going to send you now in with partners to just have a conversation. And the first conversation is, what struck you about this video and what I said? And then I want you to share with your partner, who is your mentor? Who is the person you look up to most in the world? Like, what is that leader? But what are the qualities in that leader that you most admire? I want you to just have that conversation two things. What struck you? What are you sitting with? Is it comfortable, not so comfortable? It feels very different, whatever. What actually comes through you as a result of that, of listening to Simon Sinek? And this notion of that's my life that I'm most frightened of. And then in the next stage of the conversation is, who is the one or even two people, and they're dead or alive? You already spoke about the Rebbe, Michelle. So it's what about them? You know, what is that, the character traits? What is it about them that you admire in them? Whether it could be Nelson Mandela, it could be anyone. So I hope I haven't left. Oh, there's Clive Kaplan is back. Jacob, oh, we've got some new, oh, Monde, Jacob, wow. Okay, there are more people here that have not checked in. Okay, for 2 seconds. Clive, if you can just say, I don't know what you managed to hear of the videos and everything. So you're going to go into a breakout room anyway. But what I'd like is just quickly, so you can just meet everyone, because you might go in a breakout room with one of these people. Clive, Monde, and Jacob. Just quickly, I'll start off with you, Clive. Just say who you are, what you do, and you don't actually have to say anything more because I'm starting to put you into breakout rooms. So if you can just say hello, who you are, and something about your company and why and what you do. Can you take yourself off mute? Great, and we can't see you. Put your camera on. Clive, you there? Okay, maybe he's having connectivity problems. Is Monde, Jacob, these last 3 people, Monde?
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, but I can't see you.
My network is bad, but I'll try and put video on.
There you go.
Thank you. I've missed a lot because I keep losing connection, but I'm Monde Zuma. I'm a chief entrepreneur officer in a company called Mamelodi Bears, which is a township entrepreneurship platform where we go out into townships and rural areas and help entrepreneurs and businesses with 3 things: helping them to be, to have online presence, helping them to be business compliant, and giving them access to market. So we run this, with the backbone of being a technology business. We also do like software development. We've been in operation for a couple of years, and we've been affected like everyone else with the pandemic. And yeah, I don't know if there's anything else. I could not share much of what is required. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Well, thank you. Clive, are you with us? But we can't see you still.
Okay, I don't know. There's something wrong with my camera. As you can see, it looks very chalky there. But hi, nice to meet you all and to be here. I'm the CEO of a company called Green Mind Capital. Okay, we specialize in executive leadership training. Yeah, so I do a lot of this kind of work, coaching work myself, but in a very different way. In other words, I in fact do the sort of opposite type of leadership coaching. I teach my clients how to deal with leaders that aren't leaders. So people that play in the executive space. As I've discovered in my experience, I've spent 25 years in executive at board level, and I discovered that most executives are narcissists, and narcissists are not leaders by any fault. So the kind of work that I do is I help nice people move into the executive space and learn how to deal with these rather unpleasant characters. That's the bulk of the work that I do.
I love that. Thank you. I like this thing that I was thinking about this morning, and I want to say to everyone, you are as good as it gets.
Yeah. So yeah. Okay. Thank you. Thanks very much, Jenna.
But wonderful work you're doing. Thank you.
Yeah.
Jacob. We can't see you either, Jacob. And if you take yourself off mute, maybe he's not in the room. Just have his camera on. Jacob? No. So the thing is, I'm going to put everyone in breakouts, and Jacob is on the call and he's going to end up in a breakout room. Let me just see where he is here. Sorry, I'm just redoing the breakout rooms because I can't send somebody in that we haven't seen. Okay, so are you all clear about what you're going to be talking about? Let me just move Tracey out as well, because she's part of ORT Jet, into one room. And thank you, Trace. So it looks like we've got 3 or 4 breakout rooms, which is fantastic, some with 2 and some with 3. So let me try and actually recreate, let me make 6 rooms. We can all have 2 in them, that's better. Sorry guys, it's quite challenging because we've got also staff, and I don't want to put you in the wrong rooms. I think has Jacob gone off? It's like it. So there'll be 1 with 3. 1 with 3 in the room, that's fine. Okay. So you've got the questions that need to be answered and spoken about. I've already given that to all of you. You have got 10, let me actually make 5 minutes for the first lot and 5 minutes for the second one is like, who do I admire, etc. So how am I making meaning of the video and everything? What questions am I holding? It's always good to hold questions with everything. The second part is who am I admiring the most, and what are those character traits? So I'm opening all the rooms and I'll come fetch you in 10 minutes. Trace, are you there?
Yes, I'm here, Jan.
I don't know about Jacob.
So maybe he logged on, but he's clearly not hearing us. Jacob, if you are on the call, can you put a message in the chat box, please? I don't think he's on the call.
So I wonder how one, it's just disturbing. I wonder, it's a very good question. Can I just remove him? Fine. I'm going to remove him because it's distracting for us, and also
yeah.
Then he can just re-enter.
Better.
Yeah. So, you know, he can just admits Monde didn't.
Now, Jan, as you did the breakout rooms, can you go into any of them?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I need to learn a bit more about breakout rooms.
I'm happy to come and spend half an hour with you. It's a very good thing to have if you're Zooming.
Yeah.
Because, you know, the point is I always look at things the way at the end of the day, people they don't have the capacity to listen for an hour and a half to somebody talking.
Yes.
And there's too many of them to go, there were 6, then we wouldn't have to put breakout rooms. But because there's so many and we want them to be able to share and start asking questions, that's how you develop your leadership.
Yes. No, the rooms are excellent. I know I've seen them in a lot of bigger webinars. They make use of them.
I've got a webinar. And what I want to tell you, Trace, I was telling Helena on the weekend, I've got these videos.
Yes.
For YPO. Paid me for it, and it's about 8 5-minute ones. They're brilliant. I mean, I didn't even expect it, but they put it on their website, and 300 people have come, are coming onto a webinar that have watched it, and I've been getting a lot of emails. And anyway, the point is I'd love to share it with your people. but I want you to make some money out of it as well. I'm just thinking, I don't know. Anyway, we'll think about it, but I'd really love to, we can think about it, but
so that would come into, it would be all around the marketing of it and the value of it. So when people perceive a higher value, they likely want to do it at a lower value. It's the whole psychology behind
thinking, Grace.
a bargain.
This woman can't get in. I don't know what's going on with her. Oh, no, it's not a woman, it's a man. What I was thinking is, I don't know, anyway, it's another conversation maybe with Ariella, but I mean, these guys essentially are not paying for the service you're giving them, right? Which I'm happy not to get paid. It's not about that, but it'd be nice if you could charge a subscription.
So the businesses pay a monthly subscription, which is part of their membership fee. So we get that every month. It's 150 Rand per business.
That's good.
And then we do the donation polls, which we do sometimes get. Loretta, did we get any this morning?
Sorry, Trace, you saying?
Any donations this morning?
There was one of 180. So I'm going to check. I don't know how to check on Zoom, but I'll check who made the donation.
Yes, afterwards you'll be able to check in our account, yeah.
Okay. So
yeah, Jan, we rely on that, but obviously it's not much. When it was live, everyone had to give 100 Rand. That covered our catering and security. But then having said that, there are still a number of businesses that don't pay their monthly subscriptions. So that's what we're working on at the moment, to try and ensure that everyone that has
otherwise they can't have it.
A mentor.
Yeah, Trace, let me tell you something, what I've learned over the years. I used to give a lot of things away for free. This is different what I'm doing now because it's on a much larger scale and there's a value in it for me, for my learnings. Yes. But when people get things for free, they don't value it. And just like this morning is a good example, this one with his child running around and that one, you know, they like, they don't take it seriously.
Yeah.
And just something for ORT. We've been having this conversation. I'm involved with another NGO called ECL. And I have just had a massive meeting with the global about this. And, you know, it's just saying that people, when they had to pay to come on our conference, they were there and they were, you know, present. But the minute they're getting something for free, well, it doesn't feel, there's no value exchange.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I've got to run to the bathroom quickly and go get some water, and I've only got 5 minutes left to bring them. So I'm coming now.
Okay. See you now.
Okay.
Elle, you're not on mute.
Why not?
No, I'm going to call you now. Put
okay,
your
let me mute myself.
on mute.
Mm-hmm. Hi, everyone back. So it would be lovely to hear just quickly for one or two of you what happens in that conversation. What came up? First of all, did you all manage? I see Monde, did you manage? You can take yourselves off mute.
No, I do not even go into the breakaway. I was disconnected.
Oh dear. Okay. All right. Well, at least if you can just make a note of those questions for yourself, and you can hold them as your own questions, maybe even after this program. Sorry about that. So is there anyone else who could share with us what came up for you in that session with your partner?
I can share if you want. Yeah, so we spent the first couple of minutes just chatting and getting to know each other. I was with Valeria, and I said to her, I really admire her, because the difference she's making to the world is that she's in two businesses that both play on people's best feelings ever. I mean, who can argue that cake is one of the most feel-good things you can ever have, and then life coaching as well. And why I admire her is, I mean, I'm a qualified life coach as well, but I've never been able to take that leap, because you got to really do self sort of digging and exploring before you can coach somebody else. And so yeah, that was probably half of our conversation. And then on Simon's part, it was just, I mean, I love Simon. I've read his book, Start With Why, and I watch his videos often. He's brilliant, because like he'll go on there and he'll do a talk just on, things that he thinks are endangering our children, and that he doesn't have to. It's a free talk and everything, but that's the topics that he chooses, and that to me is making the world better as well. For this particular video, what I think is brilliant is that he didn't have to close his business. He wasn't forced. A lot of people, successful people, they experience hardship before they raise their business. His was just a single act of kindness from a friend who saw, through all the facades and everything of he's got a great business and he shouldn't be complaining, and just said, I just want to know, are you okay? And that inspired him to shut down everything he knew, everything that he was already successful in, to go and do his goal, which we can see by his later videos and books is making the world better.
Yeah. Brilliant.
And yeah, we didn't get to the admire part of who we admire in life, but just in January, I had COVID pneumonia and I was in hospital, and the people that I will always hold dear and are the nurses, the doctors, the frontline people who literally, I mean, if you take a nurse's salary for someone to come to the front line every day just to heal the world, and that's their passion, because it's purely passion, and risk their lives, to me, that is the ultimate, then they definitely doing what their purpose in life was meant to be, and that's who I admire the most.
Yeah, absolutely. So, it's very interesting when I'd like to hear from somebody who could identify who they admire most.
Can I say?
Please.
I admire people that actually say, if the going gets tough, that actually stay put. They actually don't go on holiday. But if they should want to go on holiday, that they actually pay for their own holidays themselves, that they don't take advantage of other people's efforts, even if they are in a position of authority and they can. that they self-sacrifice. Those are the people that I admire, and they know the options. It's not like they don't know the options. They do know the options, and they know it's possible to take advantage, but they choose not to.
Yeah. What a character trait is that?
I would say it's self-sacrifice, it's respect for others, it's an awareness, it's empathy, it's...
okay, take a note of all those character traits. I don't know if any of you've got a journal in front of you or making notes, but it would be great just to make notes of what are those character traits. Sybil, what did you come up with?
Mine is moving forward, forgiving, and freeing yourself from prison of the mind. And I admire people. So that's, you know, I've been working with Holocaust survivors. Not all of them freed themselves from their mind, but there were a few that they just looking forward. And also Nelson Mandela, this quote of his, you know, if he leaves all the if he takes the bitterness with, he might as well stay in prison. So this actually being able to leave stuff behind. Consciousness, actually, that's conscious people.
Yes, of course. Cheryl, take yourself a quote.
Yeah, it's interesting, you know, when you say you're one person, but surely there's a few.
Yes, there can be. It's just maybe what I'm really looking for in all these people. What is the characteristic?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it could be, you know, a parent, a friend. Yeah, it doesn't really necessarily have to be a famous person.
Yeah. No, absolutely. So
So
what is
for an attribute? Yeah. Okay, I'll think about that further. I can't like pinpoint. There's a few things, but yeah, it's a good thing to go through. Thanks.
Yeah. And I'll explain to you why when you start looking into purpose, why that is important. Because is there anyone else who wants to share? What about? I
wanted to say one more thing about the first part of the question. You know, it goes deeper into why are we here on this earth?
Right.
You know, which is a huge, huge, huge area.
Yeah.
So yeah, that is. I haven't like found my why, maybe yet, but it's a hard thing to establish something so definitive.
Yes, our uniqueness, and it can be done. Absolutely. Yeah. Okay, Clive. Anyone, Clive?
Yeah, for me, leadership is really about vision, and it's about purpose. And I think that, you know, a really powerful leader is someone who has a vision and is able to get people involved from their own perspective of their own purposefulness. And, you know, to just summarize that, is someone who's able to have a vision and then allow people within that vision to actualize their own unique potential. I think that if a leader can bring people's passion out and bring that unique aspect of them that really adds value to what's going on, I think not only would you have a joyous company, but you certainly would have a joyous world. Yeah, that's my view with leadership. Is anybody that I think that would, funny enough, the person who has the most inspired me recently has been Mark Zuckerberg. Mark Zuckerberg spoke at the graduation ceremony in 2017 of Harvard, which he never qualified in. The most unbelievable speech around vision, around passion, around purpose that I've ever heard. It's absolutely the most powerful speech. And if you want to watch it, it's on YouTube, and it's really worth watching. I'm not going to elaborate on it, but it really is all about passion and vision and the new world and working together. And, you know, he's just put it all together in the most wonderful way. And I think he's, as I say, is one of the great visionaries, and I think he's a powerful leader, albeit that the media has chosen to trash him, and, you know, in the more recent past.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, so what I want to, the reason that I'm starting to tap into, because I am really very strongly connected to this notion of purpose. And when we start to look at our purpose or uniqueness, what is it that drives us? What inspires us? And, you know, when you can admire it in whatever you're admiring in somebody else, usually is within you already. You might not have access to those attributes. I want you to go back to it, not this minute, because we're going to look at other, sorry, somebody else just came into the room. What I want to really start to look at is what are the things that inspire me is usually within me. The attributes that I notice in other leaders, I hold them myself. You hold those within you. How are you expressing it? How are you bringing that into your daily lives? How are you showing up as that human, whether it's the Rebbe, whether it's, what are the characteristics in Zuckerberg? Not so much about what he said. That's great. What gives him, what are the characteristics, sorry, that sets him up for that talk, that brought him to where he is? Why him? Why not me? And what is it about you that shows up? Because that's what's important. So it's very good to admire, as we do, Simon Sinek, Zuckerberg, whoever it is. But they've done the journey and they found out what it is and they touched what inspires them. What are you touching that's in you? What can you ignite within you? And when I listened to Sibel's story about freedom, then I start to understand that somewhere in your purpose is about freeing people or freedom. So that's just an example I'm using because you gave me an opportunity, Sibel. So, and that is what brings people to life, is their uniqueness. Now to go further for Sibel. So lots of people, free people. What is the difference in you? How you do it differently through what? And that's a whole nother story. But it's a very good question. And I look at, and I listen in to Sean, admiring Valeria. So how are you doing what she's doing? What is it in you that you can tap into? And you start to make meaning. What do people start to notice in the next week or two? You know, what do people say about you? What are the positive things that they say after your coaching session? That was really great. Now I feel inspired, or, well, you changed my life in that sentence. What was that sentence that changed their life? That already starts to speak to your purpose. So there are hundreds of millions of coaches and healers in the world. What's the difference between you and all of them? That's what I'm interested in. That is what will make you like Mark Zuckerberg. So you are, you know, everybody has a genius in them. Everyone has brilliance. It's just got to be tapped into. Everyone has a Rebbe. Everyone has Zuckerberg. Everyone has Simon Sinek. But it takes a lot of hard work. And as we said, Sean, what did you say? Deep introspection. I have to do that work. So the next quick 5 minutes in a breakout again. Here's the question. What is my point of resilience or courage? How am I tapping into that? What do I need in order to bring my resilience and courage forward? What do I need to do now? Is it a pattern that needs to be broken? So what very often happens, and when the other part of Williamson's, of that speech of hers, is about sabotage. Why am I not in a higher position? Why am I not holding my leadership very close? Why not me? And very often it's the point, what is the sabotage? Is there procrastination? What do I do that is actually holding me back right now? So everyone, I think, has some kind of challenges. What is it that holds me back from not stepping into my leadership fully, or into the business, or whatever it is? What is this this challenge or this pattern that needs to be broken? Is it that I don't believe in myself enough? Is it that I get up too late in the morning? I don't sleep well at night. I don't look after myself. I see people as judging me. I'm scared of, you know, so that is, that's a question that I want you to hold on. What is my point of resilience and what is the pattern that needs to be broken? You might want to start with the first one. What's the pattern? And then what is that resource or resilience? Now, one thing that I noticed about, we'll come into that question after, about Simon spoke about people around him and resources. The world is coming to a place where we can't do it alone anymore. So what are my resources that I'm bringing in to help me? What do I need in order to help me make this business grow? What's missing? But I want you to start off with the first question. What's this pattern that is this thing on my shoulder right now that I'd like to just get rid of from my back? This pattern that I can't, or the saboteur. So I'm going to say, let's start with that 5 minutes and I'll bring you back and we'll go into another 5 minutes with the next question. So let's start off with, what is this pattern I want to break? And then I'll put you into another break of what's the resilience that will help me. Okay, so let me look at these breakouts. Just want to make sure that
Jan, I'm just observing, so don't put me into a breakout, okay?
Yeah, that's what I'm doing. So I'm trying to put you and Tracey in one, actually. I put Falani in 4. I'm just have to do these manually now.
Janet, I put the question. The question is what is the pattern we want to break? Is that the question?
Like, what is the saboteur at the moment, you know? Okay. What's the, I'm just putting Helena into a room quickly, into room 2. Yeah, sorry guys, we just have to do this. Monde, are you going to be able to get into a room?
Yes.
Are you online now?
Yes.
Okay. All right. I'm opening the rooms. Falani, you're supposed to go into room 4. Just,
oh, she is. Can you put it for me, please?
Just click on join. Just press join.
There's nothing here. Oh, okay.
Join room. Falani, still there. Oh. Hi. Helene, oh, you there?
Yes, I'm here.
How's it?
What's up?
Nothing. I've just got to do my timing. I think they've got about 3 minutes left, but I don't want to hard. The only thing with the breakout rooms, I just want to put my back in. The only thing with the breakout rooms is you just don't know if they're finished. You don't want to disturb conversation. So sometimes I let it go over like a minute or so.
Yeah.
But vertigo last night, I got home. I'm going to the doctor just as soon as I'm finished here because, yeah.
Maybe it was from drinking red wine.
I could say it was that, but you know, it's, yeah, it's, I've had it before.
My mother suffers from it. Ariella suffers from it.
Yeah. It's, yeah, it's these crystals in the brain that, anyway.
Well, thanks for a wonderful weekend. It was lovely. Thank you.
Pleasure. Missed you, Trace. If she's still there.
I know. Thank you, Jan. So Saturday we moved, not our furniture, all our boxes. And then Sunday I was sick, and yesterday I was lying on a drip all day. So please God, next time.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
How was the weather? Was it warmer there?
Yeah, it was warm.
And it's cold here. Today's freezing.
Yeah, but I'm hot in this room. I don't know why. Maybe because I've closed the windows because of noise. But it's so interesting. I love these kind of sessions because, you know, it's just so interesting how people just don't own their power.
But I think for me, you know, we've sat in all 6 boot camps. Yours is the last. And a lot of our webinars are not this format. And it's so interesting for people to go away, talk, and then come back and share. I think it's far more valuable than a presentation. I will share the presentation with everyone, Jan, because you put so much work into that. And tell everyone, and tell everyone to go through it. But I think this is far more valuable.
Absolutely, sitting and watching a presentation, they can have it. It's like they can go buy 1 million books on leadership. What does it help?
Yeah.
It's the guy said, Mark Zuckerberg, there's millions like him. And the problem is that a lot of leaders today are busy admiring and going after those people. They're not finding their own inner reserves.
Yeah, today's been about who are you as a leader, finding the leader in you.
Yeah. I'm just telling them I'm closing rooms after already done it. Yeah, put them in for the next question.
You see, Jan, the thing is, you don't need to look for leaders in the Mark Zuckerbergs and the Simon Sineks. You actually need to look for leaders that you admire in, you know, they might not even be business leaders. They might be other types, you know, their business is not the only type of leadership.
They didn't get the question properly. I said, what is the attribute in a person? But yeah, exactly. But the one did say.
It's like, do you like Donald Trump, Putin, or Angela Merkel?
What about it?
Yeah, as leaders, look at all the, you know, then you're looking at personalities, not as, you know, if you talk about Zuckerberg or Musk or Adrian Gore, you know, I mean, you know, it's different types of leadership.
Yeah. Hi.
Business and not everything.
Helene, you're my leader.
Oh, thanks, Trace.
No,
that's
seriously.
Such a compliment.
True.
Thank you, Trace.
Hi, everyone.
People are coming back, so I'm not going to say why right now.
Yeah, rather not.
Welcome. So have you discovered what pattern needs to be broken? Yeah, that's the hardest work. And somewhere the pattern sits in our own sense of self, our own self-worth. That's where it emerges from. That narrative that arrived when you were 10 years old or whenever at school or in the playground, and that first hideous teacher who told you don't know what you're doing. It doesn't have to be a teacher. It could be anyone that was an adult in your life or that you looked up to and said, you're stupid, you don't know what you're doing, you're not, whatever the narrative is. There's no value. And let's us look rather at that one who has value, because he or she is the one, not you. But actually, we're all the same. You're all the one. And you're as good as it's going to get. And you're as brilliant as everybody else. You just got to tap into it. I see that this session's supposed to finish 11:30, Helene.
Yes, that's correct.
So we only unfortunately have 5 more. But I'm going to, I mean, as a gift or whatever, I'm going to send, Tracey's going to send, I'd like you to go into one more breakout. If anyone wants to stay on for 5, is that okay, guys, for 5 or 10
yes,
minutes?
I also like to have a normal breakout. I think it's quite important.
Sorry?
Learned quite a lot. I think, yes, I've learned quite a lot from the breakouts. We now have one more breakout.
Thank you.
Yeah, I can do till 12.
Great. So this is, you see, I just want to, this is a great example of, now who's in the breakout with you? It's another person like you, right? We're all as ordinary as the next. And when Elon Musk was 10, he was the same. And he also had a teacher and he also whatever, you know, and at the end of the day, we learn more from one another than anyone else, from our life experiences most of all. And so, I mean, for me, the best thing out of this is this notion of collective wisdom. I don't know if you have a group, you all have resources with you in your companies. Use them. Make an amazing meeting that makes meaning rather than a boring one about an agenda. Start off with, how do we make meaning? What is my greatness? What's your greatness? Start to see people in their greatness. Those that work for you, work with you. And just start to greet people in a different way and see how that shifts everything. Really. So now this next breakout, if anyone has to go, that's fine. You're free to leave. But this next breakout, let us know if you're going to, because I have to make these breakout rooms and I don't want to send anyone in a, I don't want to send anyone in a breakout and then there's no one there, you know? So let me just, I've got to do them manually now because of, which is fun. So the question in the next breakout is, sorry, let me just move this to room. The question in the next breakout is, what is my source of resilience? That, you know, what is my resource? What is the strength in me? What do people say about you? Sorry, let me just recreate these rooms quickly. So what do people say about you? What do they say? Wow, this is what I see in you. And I want the positive, even the teacher at school. I want to hear from the teacher that admired you. I want to hear from the parent, the auntie, the cousin, your best friend. I want to hear from the people that showed you admiration. What did they say about you? What did they notice? If it was one moment, that's fine. Sorry, I'm just moving. I have to recreate. Well, there's people left. No. Okay. 3. Just want to make sure everyone's got 2 in the room. I'm trying to get rid of my ORT people. Sorry, guys. I'm trying to.
I have to go, unfortunately. So don't include me.
Okay.
Okay. Have a great day further. Thanks, guys.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. Just before I send you in, sorry, guys, you just have to be patient while, because now that Cheryl's gone, I need to redo it. 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think everyone is in 2. Oh, Michelle, doesn't matter even. Yeah. Valeria. So one of you is actually going to be in a room with 3, but that's fine. It's absolutely fine. Okay. So I'm going to give you 10 minutes for this one because I think it's important. And I think that I really want you to get into the, what is the inner resource? And also, what are those that are outside of me that I could bring in to start supporting me? So what is that resource that holds my resilience? Okay. that's going to help to break the saboteur. Helene, you there?
Yes.
You know what I'm seeing from all of this? You need to try and start, it will be an idea to start some kind of online forums.
Yeah, we would, you know, we're doing it. Maybe you should attend. We've got a business mentors induction coming up. And we want to put in a section of sort of networking.
Yes.
Into that, so that people don't just sit and listen to an induction, but they actually get to chat to one another, see what other mentors are in the group, what their businesses are, you know, do they have stuff, you know, chat with them. And we will do it like in breakout rooms. We, you know, try, maybe attend and see. I'm going to be working with Ilana Goodley on it. She's going to be running it this time. Do you want to?
Well, I'm thinking of something
different. Do something on leadership. Do I mean,
brilliant. But I think what I'm saying is,
do you want to facilitate something on separate then maybe on just forums, business sharing forum,
I think
idea sharing forum, and YPO forum.
Yeah, I think that what I'm saying is that something that ORT Jet could do separately is put people in forums that they meet themselves, or just one person comes and logs them on, and you know, whenever, once a month, where they share these challenges and how they resource each other like they do in forums.
Yes, so that's exactly what it would be. So that's what our business networking sessions are, where they have a chance to privately discuss the shit going down in their own businesses and have sort of somebody to soundboard these things off.
Proper structure, you know, and this like a check-in, parking lot, all of that. So you just need to give them a structure and they can do it themselves.
I don't know if they would do it themselves. That's what we could do is we could run something at the river one weekend. Do you want to do that?
Yeah, like a training.
Yeah, like a business sharing forum, like a afternoon, not like a sleepover or anything.
Is offer your people after today also see a purpose quest. Obviously not for free, you know, that's going to be up to them, but much, I mean, normally I charge 10 grand a person, but this is what I'm saying about it, and then they can take it up or not.
So put it into the chat, bring it up at the end and put it into the chat and say, because you are I usually charge about 10,000 Rand, because you are part of ORT Jet, should you have found this session, you want to explore more, you know, and you're looking for your purpose, join my purpose quest.
Yeah.
Cool. Or sponsor somebody who you think would benefit.
Yeah.
The networking is missing. Tracey and I have been discussing a lot of the lack of face-to-face has affected Jet quite badly, in that it's very difficult to connect with people. It's very difficult to get word of mouth referrals, and it's very difficult for people to soundboard, because they would do it naturally when they actually came here before the session started. Groups of people would sort of get together and chat.
Yeah.
And the isolation is affecting so many.
Yeah.
Trace, let's think about how we can do it with Janet. Maybe, you know.
So I love the breakaway rooms, and I think everyone that's been on this platform this morning has really enjoyed it, because it's the first time we've used it properly in a in a webinar environment. I think it could be really beneficial for the businesses. So we could do a talk, definitely. Obviously a little bit more structured from our side. Maybe Jane, you can help us with that.
Do you know what? Do you know what we do, Trace? We do like speed dating. So we go to Frangelica's, we take a group of mentors or businesses. We get Janet to facilitate. They sit down at tables and then they swap, people from tables swap, get like 10 minutes at a table. Yeah. And then you swap the table.
Yeah. You know, the logistics for us at the moment to do it at the office are very difficult.
No, we're not going to do it at the office.
We're on skeleton staff. Yeah, it's just
do it at Frangelica's.
But Frangelica's would be a lovely idea, yeah.
Or the Houghton Golf Course. You know, we
I saw Janet, your eyes lit up there, right?
I'm just thinking of the space in how, you know, I suppose right now the Frangelica's is also good because they've got but I suppose Houghton's also got catering facilities.
See, Frangelica's is kosher. That's the only thing that draws me there.
Good. You're right. It's actually easy.
And we do it as a breakfast. We do it as a business breakfast. We find a sponsor, ask somebody to sponsor it. We just have a buffet. Get everybody in early, 7:30 in the morning, before their workday starts, 7:30 to 8:30 or 9 o'clock. They come in. We get Janet to facilitate, and we do speed dating.
Nice. I need a sponsor.
Okay, we do it after Pesach.
Pesach, yeah.
Yeah, definitely. I can't even think of anything right. Pesach's on Friday already. Oh my God. How long have they been? I've got, what, another 4 minutes? Yeah, because it was 11:30, so we'll wait till 11:40. Yeah. But you can see how you see why I'm saying that is you can see how they love the breakout rooms.
Yeah, because they've got somebody to talk to. What you can do, Jan, is before they go into the breakout room, that works quite well, is you tell them one person is going to be the spokesperson for your breakout room who will report back to the group once you're done.
Yeah, when they're in groups, but now they're only in groups of 2.
Oh, only groups of 2. Okay, well then just ask them, like, you know, just give us a little bit of feedback about your conversation.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. I mean, if they can just go away today with understanding what's the inner resource, something's done. It's been worth it. Yeah. You know, what's the pattern? It's giving them something to think about because people are so cognitive at the moment. Like that one guy was saying, how do I do a bank? I mean, you know, I want to do this and I want to strategize. I mean, that's the easy part. It's how are you it's you. Anyway, it's tough.
Yeah, I really
offer the YPO.
Oh, that's brilliant.
Have you read it?
No, she's brilliant. Brenna, anything for Brené Brown is brilliant.
I'll be lying on the beach. It'll be full of sand when I hand it over to you, Trace.
It's fine. I don't mind the sand. At least I can pretend I was at the beach.
Oh, God.
So, Jane, offer your YPO and then tell them.
Not YPO, not what you can't do YPO.
I mean, the what's it, your?
Purpose Quest. I can get hold of you off. Yeah, I suppose.
Purpose Quest, yes.
Let me put my email address.
Put your email address into the chat, and then mention that you do Purpose Quest. Anybody that would be interested to contact you. There's a special rate for ORT Jet businesses or mentors, and they must contact you directly.
Yeah.
Helen, you look gorgeous today.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Oh, you're at the office, yes.
Yeah, I had meetings this morning. We've had something with Yes for the Toyota, and then we had a management meeting about all the stuff that's going down, you know, all this theft stuff.
Yeah, I saw Ariela's email.
Yeah, so I'll tell you what's going down. I won't tell you now, but I'll tell you guys in our status meeting.
Okay. I'm going to meet Ilana too. So
if you're not well, Trace, I want you to cancel Ilana. Health and family first. Do you remember that? Family and health.
But I'm done. I worked with Mike this morning to embed my videos. So I did want to show her.
Oh, Tracy, this is recording, hey?
Yes. I'll see how it goes. Otherwise, I'll meet her tomorrow because we're only on at 2 p.m. tomorrow for business induction.
Okay.
Go in the breakouts and just tell them We're closing the rooms in 1 minute. I'm closing rooms.
Actually appears across the screen, your message.
Oh, does it?
It's really nice.
That's good.
Yeah, Jen, the forum stuff is quite important. It's important. You know, even if you know, even in groups when we're sitting at the river, okay, if you listen to those guys, they almost hold their own informal forums all the time.
Yes.
You know, because yeah, who do you talk to?
Right. Where's information? Yeah. Exactly. So, you know, it's,
You didn't put your email, Jan?
Didn't I?
No.
Of course not.
Jan, can I also have the website address for Shana's new venture? I want to have a look at it.
Let me send that to you. So, checking out, everyone. Hi, everyone back. Still coming back.
I think we lost my partner.
Yeah, I lost my partner in mid-conversation as well.
Coming out of it.
So, I think, well, people are obviously losing their connections and have to go back to work or whatever, but it would be great just to have a quick check out from everybody. Just maybe one thing, how are you feeling right now after the session? And one thing you've taken away, and maybe there's a commitment you've made from this to take forward. So I have also posted if you're interested, I do these purpose quests, which are normally 2-day retreats. And you're welcome to get hold of me, and I said to Helene that, of course, I'd give you guys a special rate if you're interested. And that if you want to contact me anyway, for any other reason, there's my email address is in the chat. I don't know if you can all see it, because I did post it. Let me just repost it, because I posted it while you're in your breakouts.
I can't see it.
I will repost it. I see Michelle Blumenau coming back. Michelle. Okay. So wait for
While
Michelle.
we have people joining us and coming back in, I see we have lost 1 or 2 people. I'm going to ask you please to put up our donation poll one more time for us today, in lieu of the fact that we are trying to make every cent count. Like I said at the beginning, it's all about helping others. We do so for all the businesses on our program. If you're able to make a small contribution, please click on a box so that we can put it towards our funding. Remember, we're the upskilling force of small businesses, probably the only one. And the work that we do is absolutely incredible. We have facilitators such as Janet and a whole host of many, many other professionals that you've all had access to over the last 6 weeks of Business Bootcamp. And they freely give of their time to ORT Jet. So please help us to make a difference and click on a donation button.
No,
Thank you, Jan.
Just put it through, yeah. So maybe while everyone is making their donation. I will just ask you to put your cameras back on and take yourselves off mute just for a checkout as we go along. And maybe this time we'll start with Clive.
Yeah, just want to thank everyone. I thoroughly enjoyed it. It was great just to connect with a group of people again, and also just even with myself at a sort of a deeper level, asking questions that I always want to ask but never get around to doing. And thank you, Janet. It was very well, great session, well facilitated.
Wow, I take that from you. That's thank you very much. Nice to have met you.
Nice to have met you too.
Thank you. Sean.
Yeah, thank you very much. It was an awesome, insight, because especially with the breakaway rooms, you see that your fears are not your fears alone, and your strengths are not your strengths alone. And I've learned a lot from this, from all the different people. So I thank you, and I thank everyone else who's on here also for all their participation, because I definitely can take some very, strong learnings out of this today.
I'm so happy. I want to hear about it. Valeria.
Oh, hi. I was just telling Clive earlier on that this is such a gem. I didn't know how much self-introspection I had to do today. So this has given me the opportunity to just go and dig deeper, and then ask these questions about myself, about my business, so that I can be, a better person or better leader. And much appreciated, Jonathan. Well done. It was really, it really ignited something in me. It's a great thing. Thank you.
That's good. Michelle, I see you have to go. Do you want to just quickly check out before you leave?
I actually had a meeting now and it's just been cancelled, so I'm not going. I decided to stay. Sorry, because I was like dropping off. What is the question?
So what did you just take from this last session? Maybe something you learned about your resilience and
well, so maybe the training this morning just feels like it's opened a door for me. It's a door that I like to walk through. I just haven't been walking through the door. I just absolutely love this engagement with other people at a deeper level, and also, figuring out ways forward in a conscious way, rather than just, getting my to-do list done, which is, I often just operate at that level. So this has been a real treat, and thank you.
Wonderful. Excellent. Thank you. Thanks, Michelle. Hillel.
Yes. Hi. I've okay. So I've been. I think it was joy. I really enjoyed it. I enjoyed the people I spoke to, Sybil, and there was another person as well, Monde, and I learned from them. And it was a good. I think a good session. I think that we're all on similar journeys, and I think we can all learn from each other.
Brilliant. Brilliant. Sybil.
Well, my biggest takeout was meeting my light shadow in my last session, and so I'll leave that at that. And also getting that I'm